And good afternoon and welcome to Akamai Seniors. I am Percy Ihara, your host, along with my co-host here, Miss Anjea Wahine Kapu.
Hello.
Welcome to the show again, Angie.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's we call it Angie because her real name is Anjanette. It's kind of long, Angie, but that's okay. Anyway, we're here every month here on Olelo, and we'll soon be on a podcast where we can find it online, and you can also go to olelo.net to search Akamai Seniors, and you'll find all our shows there. So Angie, you're from the Big Island, and you come in quite often. How is the Big Island these days?
Wonderful, of course. Well, right now it's raining, but it's a beautiful island. I love it. It's busy.
You're supposed to say it's God's country.
God's country. Okay, okay.
Anyway, Akamai Seniors is really a television show that we want to bring to the community, to all the seniors and all the people that are dealing with their families, and to create a show that has full of resources, information, data that's going on in our state and actually in the community and with our senior community specifically. And for you that may not know, by next year, 2025, from what I hear, that there are more people over 50 than under 50 years old. And if you think about that, it's a pretty scary thought. More people will be over 50 than under 50 in the world, and more so in Hawaii, because we're the oldest state in the country. And it's something that we wanted to bring to light about all the resources available in this state, because I work with seniors every day. From my day job, people know me as the reverse mortgage guy. And from 2010 till this year, I was known as the Generations Magazine guy. So I've accumulated a lot of data over the years, and we found through the community that most of the seniors don't know where to go. They don't know who to call. They don't know the resources out there. State, city, ARP have wonderful resources there. Well, we're going to get through these every show, and we're going to put them up on phone numbers and contact information. But really, it's really about aging. And Angie, tell them what you do.
Well, I'm a broker. I work with financial benefits insurance, so I help our seniors to find medical plans that's going to fit their needs. And I know you were mentioning that there's a lot of older people now. In fact, there's 10,000 people aging in right now.
Every day in the United States.
Every day. So you can imagine, right, how that's happening in our community here. So, and helping to guide them through this process,
From what I hear, it's about 1,800 people turning 65 every month in the state of Hawaii. And I'll be one of them. So I'm actually going to be in medicine.
Congratulations.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Yes.
For a lot of my friends, we're all baby boomers. And it's interesting how when we get together, we talk about doctor visits and did you hear about this guy's cancer or heart, or he's on a special plan or diet.
Or looking through the newspaper.
Newspaper. I don't look at obituaries
too
much.
Good. Don't do that. Don't start doing that.
For being in the reverse mortgage business for going on 23 years, I have clients obviously pass away quite a bit, and it's something that I support them every day. I get a call just about every week from a past client to ask about aging in that process.
Well, I also with seniors, you'll see a lot of seniors. Like I was saying, they look at the papers or they're around their friends. Friends are leaving, right? So trying to get them back out. Get seniors back out into the community, helping them, educating them, letting them know what's available to help them, right?
Right.
To be able to, to feel secure and independent, right?
So when people see my car, have you seen my car?
I have.
My theme, my mantra, or why I live is live well. When you call my voicemail, it says live well. I sign off on my emails, live well, because working with seniors for the last 20 plus years, I see the healthy ones, I see the not so healthy ones, I see the happy ones, I see the sad ones, I see the depressed ones. So we will do future shows on aging well, healthy living. We'll talk about programs out in the community and the Big Island, because we will be taking this to We putting it on the neighbor islands, all the public access television. And it's just something that I have a big passion for. And like I said, a lot of my friends, we're trying to get them to live well, trying to get them to understand if, like both my parents passed within the last 2 years, and trying to navigate caregiving for them. But also, I was talking to a couple of seniors last week about how to enjoy life. In their 70s, husband passed away, and they want to figure out how we're going to navigate these next 10, 15, 20 plus years.
Well, they're still young.
That's what I tell them.
They're still young. They're not, and that's sometimes what you've run into, their mindset, right? They're old, but the 70s is like the new 30s, right?
I would say 40s.
I would say 40s.
40s, 50s.
I want it to be the 30s when I get there. So.
Well, when you meet her in person, you'll know what reason why. She has a lot of energy. She's very vivacious, very on it, and she loves you. Like myself, we love to do things. That's why we're here, giving our time to the community for Akamai seniors. And if you didn't know, you go to akamai-seniors.com. It's a nonprofit. I'm on the board, and we're going to be creating events, workshops, helping seniors live well on all the islands. But Angie's on the Big Island, so she'll be helping creating events and workshops to help seniors understand that we're all going to age. Right. It's a fact of life. Probably not going to die right away, and we need to understand how to navigate aging. And I've done a lot of work in this area of aging, and it's important.
Well, and it's a learning experience for ourselves as well, because then we get around the different organizations that's available and really finding out what is it that you do and what does it mean, for our community, for our seniors. Like, what exactly do you have to offer to our seniors? So that's why we want to do this, right? We want to get out there, talk to these different organizations, and put them in front of you and let you know that they're available, because so many resources are not being used.
Not being used, or most nonprofits don't have marketing money, so they don't know about it. So if you see this tablecloth here, this beautiful tablecloth, Akamai Seniors, this is the tablecloth I believe you have on the Big Island, right?
We do.
Yes. So at all the
KTA.
2 of the KTA stores, you'll see Anjea and her team working the tables, providing information and all the nonprofit information in the Big Island. And that's one thing that I give you, Anjea, and Akamai Seniors and Ed and Travis Motosui to create this, because it is a big issue with finding resources for seniors.
Right, and and it's no pressure, right? When they come up to our kiosk, and that's something with all of our agents that works within our agencies. It's to be a resource to our seniors, not just the seniors, but also with our providers, the doctor's offices, right? Because every January, what is the one thing that's happening? Their plans all change. They don't know what's going on, and kupuna, they don't know. Right? They don't understand that.
Yes.
So being a resource to our providers as well, and letting them do what they're there to do, right? Take care of them, not having to figure out what their plans are. So a lot of our kiosks, whenever you see an agent out there volunteering their time, right? They're there to help, there to assist. Like, don't feel afraid to come up to our booths, right? And talk to us. Because, we're here to help educate more than anything.
Well, I've experienced you guys in sales presentations. I've experienced you guys working the tables, and that's one thing I give you guys a lot of credit. Everybody is required to have Medicare by 65, but you guys do a really good job of educating the public. And so, don't be afraid to go visit them, talk story, because plans do change a little bit every year. I know the neighbor islands is going to change a little bit every year, specifically neighbor islands. But anyway, we want to talk today about aging in place.
Okay. Yes, we do. So, and you've been in this industry for so many years. What got you into this? What set you up for this?
Yeah, I've trained a lot of financial advisors. And I'm one of the few people in the country that's done it over 22 years. I'm going on 23 years. I've been in the finance business since 1988. And as a mortgage broker, as a mortgage banker, I've done residential loans, commercial loans. And I was at the Bank of Hawaii in 2002, and a friend of mine that I played softball with, people that know me, I play a lot of golf and softball. And he said, his name was Dan, he said, you know what a reverse mortgage is, right? I go, I kind of heard about it. We did a class in 90, I believe, for like 2 hours.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I heard reverse mortgage, right? Because most people are like, no, we don't want to do that.
They still feel that way.
Right. Right. It's like put the cross up, but you explained that. So I think you should share that with everyone.
Yeah, when I got in this business at age of 42, I realized when I was sitting across a senior trying to offer the benefits of the reverse mortgage, I had a 401k. I didn't know a whole lot about retirement planning, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, Alzheimer's, elder abuse, aging in place, long-term care insurance, caregiving, and let alone. So I self-educated myself, and about a year later, I saw a designation on a national level called a Certified Senior Advisor. So a friend of mine and we went to Vegas to take the class, a 3-day class, and took a test. And it was a very rigorous test. So you can go Google it, Certified Senior Advisor, or CSA.org. It's on the net. And today it's a double accredited designation where there's only 2 accredited agencies in the country. 90% of all the designations you see behind people's names are not accredited. Only 10% are. And then accreditation means somebody reviewed the test, and when they do it a class, they don't tell you, Anjea, this is going to be on a test. It's a blind test. And it's something that I think I am very proud of for getting the designation. There's only about 6 of us in Hawaii that have the designation. And it's the only designation in the senior world industry and the financial industry that's double accredited.
Wow.
So it's a great designation. We cover over 22 different areas of aging, and it's something that I pride myself on. I practice that every day, and it's something that I really strongly believe all professionals that work with seniors should have that designation. On the mainland, you see a lot more care homes, nursing facilities requiring their administrators to have that designation. Some of the franchises you buy into home care, they require their administrators and their owners to take that class.
That would make sense, right? Because they're dealing with the seniors on a
every
regular
day.
basis.
So we have to be a little bit multi-talented, read, and we have to understand different aspects of aging and how to protect and serve them. And it's really the word is serving them. And then a few years later, I found that a lot of my clients, when they got the reverse mortgage through me, they stay with me for the rest of their life. And so that means if they got it at 65 or 75 or 85 years old, they're going to age with me. And at some point down the road, for women, it's 80% chance you're going to need some form of long-term care. And for men, it's 70% some form of long-term care. In Hawaii, it's probably a little higher because we live longer than the average senior in the country. And it's just something that I pride myself on doing that because I don't sell insurance. I only do mortgages. For compliance reasons, I have to mention my national mortgage license number is 582944, just for compliance issues. But it's really important to me because all your clients are going to age, right?
Right.
So they start calling you about things when they find out that you're a major resource like I am today. I get a call almost every day from somebody that I've talked in the past or wanted a reverse mortgage. They'll call me 5 years later. Remember I talked to you? In fact, this morning a guy called me. Remember I talked to you about a year and a half ago about my family, this and that? So now we start conversations. So I can handle most conversations with seniors and their families. And it's really important because all your clients are going to age as well too, right?
Well, they're there, and for yourself, now you're able to walk them into their next level, right?
Yeah, I pride myself on being a fiduciary where we find out the best solution for them without selling anything. If they want to reverse mortgage,
everyone
great.
should be like that, right? They should. If you're going to do something like this, you should take that responsibility and actually care about who you're dealing with.
In the financial world, in the legal world, yeah, you're supposed to have that.
You're supposed to.
And it's part of their compliance. It is so off. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I heard the state of Hawaii is looking at a compliance ruling now where they're going to require them to sign a fiduciary document. Now, don't quote me on that because it's still going to work from what I hear. But every client you talk to, you're going to have to sign a document and say you're going to talk to them and consult them for the best interest of them, not for the product you're selling. And that's a big one.
So let me ask you a question because I know for myself, with my parents, whenever it came to reverse mortgages, I'm like, no, don't. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
So you run into that a lot.
Almost every day.
Yes. So behind that, right? Because as their children, they're most of the time going to come out and say, no, don't do it.
Yeah,
change
it is change. It's changing every year. And I've done many sessions with the Bar Association. I'm training a bunch of financial advisors next month, about 50 of them, all certified financial planners, on how the benefits of the reverse mortgage, the downsides, the upside, how to utilize the reverse mortgage. And yeah, it is true. A lot of the negativity out there you hear is hearsay.
Right.
Some of it is fact. There's been cases where people abuse the reverse mortgage, and most of the time, from my experience, my own personal experience, is that people have a line of credit. That's all the reverse mortgage is a line of credit.
Okay.
The difference between our line of credit and the bank or credit union line of credit, ours is a government loan. It's an FHA loan.
Oh,
So
good.
it's compliance things that we have to put in place, that have been put in place in the process. And what happens typically, the cases I've been involved with, and you've probably read in papers, that the person that had power of attorney or had access to the funds, they took the money.
Right.
And it's very sad when I see that, and I've heard many stories, and I've been involved in cases as an expert witness, and it's just unfortunate. But once they get educated how to do the reverse mortgage, why they want to do the reverse mortgage, and really how is it going to benefit them, I always try to talk to the family.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's how is it going to benefit the family, right? And you're talking about educating them and letting them know so they're not getting wrong information. You're educating them. And I think that's the picture, the magic word there, right?
Yeah, I was actually with a client the other day, and he goes, Percy, I'm going to bring my best friend and my brother. Best friend was ex-cop, detective, and you've seen him on TV. And his brother. And after about an hour, it goes, Percy, that's all it is. It's a line of credit. You only charge interest on what you take out.
Okay.
When you pass away, you pay back whatever you borrow plus interest, and the rest goes to the family. But we see a lot of time where misconceptions, and I use the word ignorance, because how can you make a decision for the rest of your life without really understanding how it works? And it happens all the time.
That's everywhere, because even when in our industry, the Medicare, right, you have the seniors that literally will run past you, right? They don't want to make eye contact, right? Because they think you're an insurance. Or she's insurance. She's an insurance broker. She's going to sell me the house. But we're not. We're there to help you, just like you are.
Yeah, I tell people many times when I first started learning about Medicare is that you're very similar to us. We work with seniors. I mean, albeit yours is required to get, ours is not. But you have little nuances, if I can use that word, on how the different plans. And there's 5 or 6 or 7 plans, and they're all a little bit.
There's a bunch of plans.
Yeah, but all a little bit different here and there. And it's so funny. I always go back to this conversation. I was at McDonald's one time with a client, about 8:30 in the morning, and a bunch of men, about 6 of them, sitting on the far side. And they're all talking about this. By the way, I just got a new Medicare plan. This company is really good.
That's a wonderful conversation.
It's so funny because they think, oh, you got to get the plans. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to go over and tell them anything, but I just was listening. But yeah, guys, not every plan works like the reverse mortgage. You know, to me, it affects about 10 to 15% of the population. And it's really important because about 50 to 60% of my clients today use the reverse mortgage equity of your home to pay for long-term care.
All right. Well, you have to get that ahead of time, long-term care.
Well, that's long-term care insurance.
Plan. Yes.
But,
to go into long-term care, the cost of long-term care, how much is that about every month?
Well, so a very well-known person, the wife is a friend of mine, and we were talking at a meeting one day. I was at a meeting, and the person was talking about how expensive long-term care is.
Yes.
I said, well, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because the fact is you need long-term care.
Right.
You can't take care of your husband. So it's irrelevant what it costs. I told her, I said, it comes down to what kind of quality of care you want for your husband. You know, we have a great Medicaid plan, but that's very limited to a certain extent.
Right.
Long-term care insurance, about 50% of people that I talk to can't even qualify for because of health issues. And then the last thing is they think, well, long-term care insurance is too expensive, and long-term care. So
they should have. I mean, but that's something they probably would have had to get earlier.
Yes, right? Yes, and when you're healthier. So that we'll cover it on another show. Was that an in-depth conversation?
That's a good topic in itself.
Yeah.
Right?
So I've trained insurance agents as well, realtors, and it's something that I think that's what it comes down to. is what kind of care you want for yourself and your loved one. And it's really, really important.
And that's what we're here for today.
Exactly
This
right.
is what we're doing. This is what we want to get that type of information out to our kupuna and to our seniors out there.
And their
right?
family.
And their
because
families.
when it
That's
comes
their,
down
their,
to
their assets.
well, like you know, I was talking to somebody I was talking to some ladies last week. They're mid to late 70s, and I think 3 of the 5 had long-term care insurance. I said, you need to let your children know that you have long-term care insurance. Because I got to go find the paperwork. I said, but why do they need to know? It's for me. I said, because when you need long-term care, you're not going to be the one filling out the forms.
Right. They're the ones that's going
to
to
file a
have to
claim,
take care
things
of
like
it.
that. But that's what, in my experience, I got my certified long-term care CLTC designation because of long-term care. And I need to understand it and learn it. I'm on a national call every month, sometimes twice a month, to know what's going on nationally with the long-term care insurance plans, but also how to file a claim, all the different hybrid plans today. There's all kind of plans today to be able to fund long-term care. Because when I do workshops, and I'll probably say this more times into this show, when I do workshops, guys, I always say, how many people smoke and drink a lot? They go, oh, Mr. Ihara, we don't do that anymore. We're too old. We got to be healthy. I said, oh, that's not good. And I jokingly say that, by the way.
Right.
You know why I say that? So I say, they go, oh, we want to be healthy. I say, that's good and bad. What's the bad? The bad is you're not going to die right away.
Oh,
And you're going to need some form of care. And I jokingly
they're living
say
a lot
that
longer, right?
we're the oldest state in the country. Statistically,
That's one of their fears, is outliving their money.
that is
right?
a fact. I've done a lot of research studies, and that's one of the things on my workshop that we do.
Right.
If you look at Generations Magazine, go to generations808.com, or you can pick up Generations Magazine at the library, Zippy's, Big City Diner, Times Pharmacy, Daiei. It's at KTA on the Big Island.
KTA, and any of our locations with
Right, on
the financial benefits.
And
you'll
on
find it
Kauai,
there.
there's Gather Federal Credit Union. I get calls from Kauai because they only find us because they read Generations Magazine. It's 6 times a year, so every other month. But it's a great resource over there. But yeah, it's just something that you experience every day. Because you're actually on the front line during the enrollment period, right?
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now, actually, we're going through
Yeah,
this.
so it's something that I think, guys, we want you to understand.
But you also mentioned, I want to talk about with their caregivers, right? You know how you were talking about it's the caregivers that actually take care of your parents. They're the ones that go through it. And even just having help for them, somewhere for our caregivers to go to. I was a caregiver for both my grandmother and my mother. Yeah. It's hard. It's emotionally hard. So, getting through that. So having resources for caregivers as well is very important. So I think you all should get on here, listen to what we have.
Well, that's one of the things, Anjea, down the road, we're going to have different nonprofits come on the show. And just real quick, givemeabreak.org is a nonprofit website, but also a nonprofit here on Oahu that does support caregivers. And they have events several times a year to support caregivers. They had one recently where they had a makeover for, I think, 25 women.
Oh, that's fun.
All-day makeover. They had a little retreat for them. Massage, hair, makeup, everything.
You said the magic word, massage.
Yeah. I mean, so check it out. Savi Makalena is the executive director of givemeabreak.org. And that's a cool name because that's what you need. You got to give them a break. I mean, I have several friends of mine that live or take care of their parents, and they live with their parents. And I take my cousin out golfing every week because he was dealing with my auntie who's had dementia for many, many years. I have several of my friends that I golf with taking care of their mothers. I have a few of that taking care of their wives that got dementia in their 50s, early onset dementia. So it's just something I think we got to be prepared for. And we want to educate you out there.
You know what? Most people don't prepare for it. Most people don't know. They don't. You always say, "Oh, it's going to happen to someone else." You never think it's going to happen to you. You're not. There. Most people are not ever prepared for these things. So having the resources available, I'm glad that you shared that because there's someone out there. I just talked to one of my clients the other day to find out how mom was doing.
Oh.
And she has full-blown Alzheimer's. Hearing the kids, what they have to say about it.
I'm actually going to do the Alzheimer's walk tomorrow. Every neighbor, every island has an Alzheimer's
He
walk.
loves to walk.
I do. I just went to the pet walk last week.
And went golfing today.
Yeah, but I went to pet walk last week, which was really fun. But yeah, that's why we do Akamai Seniors. So if you like the show, we're going to bring out more and more. We just started the show, by the way. We're going to bring out more and more resources for you out there. And also, so tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family members. Like I said, if you can't catch us live on Olelo, you can go on olelo.net. It has all our past shows. And hopefully by the early part of 2025, we'll have podcasts out there. It'll be on akamai-seniors.com website. We can download that. And when I do my workshops, I do them everywhere, almost every week, somewhere on this island on Oahu, and hopefully in a big island soon. But every workshop I tell, if you like what you hear and you like how we do this, tell your friends to come to the workshop, please.
Share the information.
Anyway, last thoughts. That was a fast 28 minutes there, Angie.
No.
What last thoughts can you share with our seniors?
Well, I just think right now for me, we are actually going through the Medicare season, right? It's year-round, of course. But with all of the changes and everything's happening with the Medicare space, I would say make sure that you talk to someone. Make sure that you sit down with a local agent. Don't be afraid to talk to us, because I'm not kidding you. They'll run by. Like, they don't want to.
No.
No, she's going to sell me something. But, we're there to help you. And it's very wise to deal with a local agent. I mean, you hear more and more nowadays over the phone, right?
Well, I see the commercial every day.
Yeah. So
You can't find anything better on the mainland than you find it better here. Plus, you when you're a Big Island, you can call Angie. You'll probably see her at KTA, or you see her watching the girls volleyball.
So we have an office in the mall right next door to the Social Security at on Prince Kuhio Mall. Come in. There's snacks. We always have snacks. We get to you through your belly. But come in there and learn and hear something and get to don't be afraid to talk to local agents. It's important.
It really is.
Right.
That's why I said we do Akamai Seniors. So in 2025, we'll have Akamai Seniors workshops. We'll be at Big City Diner around the island. On the East Honolulu, we'll probably be over at Zippy's. I'm not quite sure what locations we'll be at, but we do them every week somewhere on this island. So please check us out. You can always go to Generations Magazine, generations808.com, or just pick up a Generations Magazine in the KTA and the Big Island, Gather Frederick Credit on Kauai, Times Pharmacy, Big City Diner, the YMCA, and the library. Every library in the state. So thank you very much, everybody. This is Akamai Seniors. Aloha and live well.